Chance of a catch, but he's pulled down. The ball is racing to the boundary. There is little bit of protection, but couldn't get the ball into the field, and that would be a boundary for JINJA Aces. And the batter just using a little touch on the ball there. The keeper putting in a dive, but couldn't stop that from going to the boundary. Such a quick outfield here, I might say. Some gentle slope in the outfield. Any ball that goes past the fielder, it will have to race to the boundary. Nevertheless, given that the outfield is very slow, rather very damp, but the ball will have to race to the boundary. 4 runs to JINJA, putting the score to 13 runs. Sorry, 18 runs for the loss of no wicket. Tries to go for a big pull shot there, but that's a dot ball. Very good comeback by Ashab Irvani. If you haven't been following the NTARE cricket team, is you have to know that they have been in Kenya for the East African Cricket Games, and they managed to be the victors for that tournament. Coming into this tournament, the Boys Schools Cricket with tournament, with some good achievements to their side, but now they are taking on a stronger side. You might say the JINJA Aces that are predominant in the East, having a rich history in cricket. Powerful shot, really cut hard through the point area. The ball goes whizzing to the boundary for 4. What a beautiful cut shot that is. With it on offer, the batsman really does not to do much, just has to utilize the outfield and the width that has been offered to him. Getting the boundary. Boundaries are coming easy for JINJA Aces at the moment. And Batan Senyondo Juma is really on top of the bowlers. You might say already 2 boundaries in this over. Soft touch there. Chance of a run out. Proper communication between the 2 batters. You can see the disappointment between the wicket keeper and the bowler, asking the point fielder there to be really on his toes, not allow such easy singles to be taken off such fielding. But I would say it's very good technique employed at the moment. Gentle touch of the ball and go. Good awareness of what needs to be done. Senyondo is doing a perfect job for his team. Mitchell Fazal on strike. Starts off with a glance around the pad. The bowler does the recovery. Limits it to only a dot ball. And good end of the over. The score is 23 for no loss. So many games going on in this Boys Schools Cricket Week tournament that is taking place in Fort Portal, the tourism city. We know Nyakasura School is taking on Mwiri. Oh, what a quick bowler. He has been a quick bowler so far. Hasn't really been easy to put off by JINJA batters. Most of them have been beaten by pace. Not such a tall bowler, you might say, but he has really been express, bowling some decent length. Oh, little touch. Long buries the protection and only stops it for 1. Good job there by the young lad, Senyondo, knowing when to get off strike and when to get boundaries. Ready goes off the strike. And lets Fazail on strike. Beautiful drive there. Really beautiful, but doesn't get anywhere through the cover fielders. Straight bat presented. Driving on the front foot. Very good technique, I would say. It's been really good with Ajuka Innocent is how
Yeah, he's been so disciplined with all he's been angling in that ball. But not a very bad start there for JINJA Secondary School. They're getting themselves off to a solid start. You know, coming into the tournament as defending champions, a lot of expectations right on your shoulders. But that marks the end of the fifth over, and 25 for no loss is the score. Micho Faisal 7 of 17 and Senyondo Juma 14 of 14. Senyondo Juma is the son to the coach of JINJA Secondary School, Habibu Mugaola, who's coached many players have passed through his hands and went on and played for the senior team players like Kenneth Waiswa, Ritam Samali, Stefan Nampina, Immaculate Naksui, all being some of his proud products. But the projected score is just 104 and the current run rate 5.2. Now we get into the 6th over of the game. This is the last over to complete the power play of this match.
starts off straight away with a wide. That's too wide from the batter, who stretches, lunges forward, try and drive, but picks up the lane that is outside his eyesight and leaves it to go to the wicket keeper. You don't need to give out extras at the moment, given that no batter is striking above 100. That means the bowling has been decent. You don't have to give out such extras. Dance of a cuts, flies to the point, rather to doesn't carry to the slip fielder, who is almost at the third, I might say. Almost a short third man. Trying to drive with hard hands, which could be lethal at the moment, given that the ball is rushing onto you. You have to use soft hands and let the ball come to you. You have really to rely on timing on such outfield that is really quick despite it being damp. And the bowler Irvana comes back. Upish. Point is in play. And only one run they will settle for. Two good chances have been presented in this over so far. We've seen two balls airing to the skies but not falling to the fielders. I might say some, not to jinx these guys, but something is gonna happen at the moment.
Yeah, the bowlers are trying to create some chances, but it's the fielders who are kind of letting them down. You did mention that NTARE School was in the East African Games, but they weren't alone. Sacred Hearts SS also from Gulu, represented in the girls category. Great milestone to see that after maybe the nationals, these schools can go on and represent at the East Africa, maybe up to the Africa. Seeing youth cricket being played amongst these teams, it's interesting step. Terror that's driven very nicely through that cover area. Mecho Faisal and Senyondo Juma are the batters who are getting JINJA Secondary School off to a very good start at this moment in the game.
Looking at the energies of the fielders from NTARE, you can see that despite the weather being chilly, you don't also have to be down in the field. Anytime the catch might come to you, you don't have to be cold. You have to stay vibrant and active in the game. Soft touch there, chase is on. Only one they will get. But I love the way how Juma is playing out, really giving it a soft touch and playing back of the square, letting the ball come to him. Such good technique, I might say.
I tell you, that shot just means that you've gotten yourself into the game. Good work there being done by Juma. The chilly weather has been the order of the day here in Fort Portal City.
Another weight offered there. 3 weights so far in this over. You can say that Irvine is really not executing the lanes that he would have loved to for his team. 2 weights down the leg. Another one in front of the batsman. You would say is all over the wicket, bowling not precisely to one lane. Beautiful cover drive there, but fielder gets a hand on it. 2 is the call, and they will get the 2 runs. Beautiful shots there we have seen, but I would love to see those cover drives go through the fielders for 4s. But I can say it's a lovely shot to watch at the moment. But one thing that's notable is how Fayazo is shuffling across his crease and setting himself up into a perfect position. Look at that, powerful shot, beautiful drive there. The initial movement, the shaft across the wicket, setting himself in a perfect position, has been really good to watch at the moment and has really worked for him. But with that 1 run brings up the end of the 60th over, and the score is 35 for the loss of no wicket. Power play done. 35 runs from the power play. They deploy all the 5 fielders. I think he's now using the attacking option here, not really getting the batters to get easy runs. Still using the attacking field. Another hard drive there. Beaten doesn't get anywhere near the ball. 2 dot balls in a row, and the new bowler is really doing good job for his team, starting off with 2 dot balls, bowling almost outside 4th, 5th stump there. Now the shuffle movement there comes into play and gets himself to get a bat on the ball. Not like how he he has been playing the previous 2 balls. He couldn't get anywhere near the ball. Soft touch there. 1 is the call and they will get 1. That's much better compared to how he was going about the proceedings, trying to go for ball drives and not getting any bat on the ball. And now tries the other option of drop and run and has taken him off strike. Beautiful line, really beautiful at the moment. He has really bowled tight lines to the 2 batters in Michu Faiza and Senyondo Juma, asking them to step into the ball, lean into the ball. Nothing closer to them there, asking them to drive. And how is it a call? Up goes the finger. First wicket falls for JINJA. He says, what a way to pick up the first wicket at the moment. First wicket falls for 30. You can see how good this ball has been. Not really giving out free balls or easy balls. Nothing easy for the batters to work with, but everything has been precise. Bowling 5th stump, 4th, 5th stump outside the lane of the wickets. And the batter really hard to fall for the trap. The wicketkeeper does a very beautiful job there. And the new batter comes in running. Seven overs down, and the score is 36 for 1. Senyondo, the last wicket that fell for JINJA, only departed for 16 runs from 19 balls, striking in at 84.21. Had a very good job done for his team, trying to see his team go through the power play without losing any wicket. But he was brought to his demise by the new bowler Atumanya Davis. A spinner comes into the attack, starts off with a dot ball. New batsman on strike. Sorry, it's Michu Faiza on strike, facing on the spinner. Oh, tries to go big, but nowhere near the ball and nowhere close at it. Tries to go to the inner fielders, but there is protection at the long on field. Short covers. I wonder which field he is trying to use at the moment. But we see the bowlers for NTARE at the moment are on top, given that they picked wicket the previous wicket and now 3 dot balls in a row. Really does good for them. Beautiful stroke there, beautiful stop. Leans forwards, fully stretch, and reaches that bounce of the ball and stops it to cover region. 1 is the call. Beautiful stop there at covers, but they are still taking the second run. Had to do a very good job there, and hard work to stop the ball from racing to the boundary. And umpire Darren there is to be questionable about the lane ball, that ball, given that he was really good with the length. Oh, wide is the call. That wouldn't be good for him at the moment, given that he had got a very good start. 3 dot balls, only 2 runs picked in his 4 balls that he has bowled. Oh, tries to go for a booming cover drive. but dot ball is the call, and that ends over number 8. Score is 38 for the loss of 1 wicket. The bowler with magic that has just picked the only wicket for NTARE is continuing from the staff end court, rather staff quarter end. Amanya. Oh, beautiful drive there. Beautiful drive from Michu Faizu, who really has been good at the moment, pushing his team, cruising in at 15 from 31. Beautiful drive, but well stopped from resting the boundary from extra cover region there. Very good work done by the fielder, jersey number 99 there, to stop that bold shot from going to the boundary. I love the extension of the arms there and the reach on the bounce of the ball. Oh, shuffles across, tries to access that onside area, but doesn't really get any bat on the ball, and that's another dot ball. Atumanya Davis today has really been doing a very good job dealing in dot balls. And you know, oh, up in the air, a fielder is underneath the ball, a catch is taken, the second wicket falls for JINJA, and it's the same bowler that picks the same wicket, rather the second wicket, none other than Atumanya Davis. Two wickets in his 1.3 overs that he has bowled at the moment. He's having a very beautiful day. Things are really happening here at the Bows Schools Week tournament, holding for Porto City, sponsored by Skyview. Grab yourself a Skyview soda that is in different flavors, but they are doing a very beautiful job to sponsor this tournament. We've seen them sponsor this tournament not only in this Bow Schools Cricket Week tournament, but in a couple of Schools Week tournament held in JINJA, now held in for Porto. They have been really doing a good job. New batter, Nyiro Jonathan, former under-19 player. Yesterday he was very lucrative with the bat for his team. Comes onto the crease, facing Atumanya Davis, who is only left with 2 balls in his second over, picking 2 wickets at an economy of 1.2. Nyiro Davis starts off with a drive. Beautiful delivery there. Straight, right on the money, straight attacking the stumps. But Nyiro Jonathan is really good with his eyes in. Hasn't really settled into the game, but really picks up that knacky delivery. that was really aimed at his stumps. Another soft touch there. Doesn't get anywhere away from the strike. Doesn't get off the mark. Finish up with a dot ball. 9 overs down. The score is 40 for the loss of 2 wickets. So far, these 3 overs between Atumanya Davis and NTARE have really been a turning point for NTARE school, given that they bowled 3 overs and conceded only 3 runs. Starts off with a dot ball. Darren and Davis bowling in tandem here. Darren coming from the primary school end. Up in the air, upish. We only get one, doesn't carry to the fielder. At mid off there, but gets off strike, brings on Nero Jonathan, who is yet to get off the mark. Tries to go big, given width on the delivery, tries to whack it through the cover region but doesn't get any bat on it. And wait is the call from the umpire. One thing that hasn't been good with Darren is the weight that he has offered to the opponent. Another weight is given. He's trying to bowl Kenneth comes to join his partner Neuro Jonathan, who is giving words of wisdom given his expertise and his experience, having played for the Uganda under-19, presented Uganda in Nigeria, and lucky for them, they weren't able to go to the World Cup, that tournament that was courtesy of the ICC under-19 World Cup qualifiers, but Uganda never really managed to go through. It was Tanzania that triumphed in that tournament. But Neuro Jonathan really experienced and has had most of the games with emerging side, with the national team try games, with bat ball marks. He has had words of encouragement and words of wisdom to his partner Isoko Kenneth, who is on strike, and Atumanya Davis. Only two balls have been bowled in third over. Ooh, straight attacking the stumps. Such knowledgeable of really what is taking place here. You see any batter that comes on the crease, he's tried to attack his wicket straight away, but really hasn't been lucrative with that. The batters have really, their touch and go, drop to the third man region, gets off the mark. The batters have really been sharp with those deliveries and have put them off with dot balls. Neuro Jonathan, most experienced of the side. Back of the length, tries to go for a booming cut shot there, but doesn't get really any bat on it. He really has to acknowledge the fact that the wicket is kinda skiddy, and the only way that you can put off those balls is to get yourself in a better position. Oh, inside edge, chases on. There is no protection in that fine leg area. 2 is the call, and they will settle for 2. You see such a shots, the inside edges coming to play, you really know that no good timing from Jonathan Neuro. His timing really isn't perfect that moment. We saw him trying to cut, doesn't get any bat on it. But with that, with those 2 runs, bring up the end of the 11th over, and the score is 48 for the loss of 4 wickets. I beg your pardon there, 48 for the loss of 3 wickets, and all the 3 wickets that have fallen have been courtesy of Atumanya Davis. New bowler comes. Oh, chance of run off. A little fumble at the mid wickets there. It's not really a rather new bowler, but it is Ampere Daring, who has been bowling in tandem with Atumanya Davis. Continues from the premier end, tries to go for a back foot cut. One thing questionable about Neuro Jonathan here is how well does he play the cut shot there. We've seen a couple of attempts of him trying to cut the ball, but doesn't really get it anywhere. Down the leg, chases on, bat on over. 2 is the call. The umpire will confirm that that was a bat involved. There was a bat involved from Neuro. who goes on his knee and tries to access that fine region area there. Not a perfect lane here that has bowled. Will be back there from Darren. Right on the man there, straight to the stumps, and Nero Jonathan lunges forward and drops the ball back to the bowler. Oh, how is that? Is the appeal? The umpire says down the leg. Pitching outside off there, rather pitching outside leg there. Nero Jonathan, who tries to go for a sweep shot. But one thing lovely about NTARE is they really know that the power play is done, but they have kept on that attacking option of only having 2 boundary raiders in the long off and long on, only patrolling the region there, and the sweeper, the mid wickets, is almost in the 45 yards there. Powerful hit there from Jonathan Nero, but the bowler Darren does a heavy work there to stop the ball for a dot ball. With that dot ball brings up the end of the 12th over, 51 for the loss of 3 wickets.
I tell you, the plan of using that attacking field has been working out for them so well. But yesterday, just on match day 1, we saw 1,992 runs being scored, 174 wickets taken just on match day 1 of the tournament. But 2 hat-tricks happening right on match day 1. Looks like a tournament where we will be seeing a lot of things happen. The highest score of the tournament, of course, being posted by the defending champion, JINJA Secondary School, 177 for 4. And the lowest score was Goodheart Secondary School, who were bowled out for just 16 runs. Abraze Mir Ali was had the highest score of the tournament yesterday, 79. He plays for Aga Khan, but part of that under-19 setup. Best bowling figures from Edwin Mukisa. Masaka SS bowled 4 overs, picked up 5 wickets, conceding just 5 runs. I tell you, fortunately, the tournament is already shaping. Yesterday, 337 players were registered in the system, meaning the cricket in Uganda is taking a very good shape.
How is a call? But talking of the cricket taking a very good shape, I'll send kudos to Uganda Cricket Association for allowing tournaments to go in different regions of Uganda. We saw the ladies cricket tournament happening in the northern end in Gulu last time, and now the boys cricket tournament taking place in the western region in this time in August, rather in late August. You can see that they are trying to develop cricket in different areas of the nation. We saw different cricket hubs, the northern hub, the western hub. So many things are happening at the moment to make sure that cricket is growing, and that's a good job to do at the moment. And it's only that the Uganda Cricket Association has managed to do that.
I tell you, the plan of the hubs working out so well, but that is beautifully driven, and just run is away for 4 runs. Good work there being done by JINJA SS1, make sure that despite the wickets falling, they don't really stop scoring the runs. But action is happening at other grounds, as we'll be giving you the updates just in this morning. The other games that are happening, Gulu High School is taking on Masaka Secondary School. That is happening at Nyakasura 2. Nyakasura 2 just right close from where we are. 2 grounds, you watch action here, and the other side, when you hear celebration, you just make a glimpse. St. John High School Kaoga is taking on Kira College Butiki from that Canoni Apollo 2 ground. Sorry, Canoni Apollo 1 ground. Aga Khan High School is taking on St. John Secondary School Mukono from Canoni Apollo 2. Whereas Masindi Secondary School is taking on King's College Ibudo at Select 1, and Busoga College Mwiri taking on Nyakasura School at Select 2. I tell you that match between Nyakasura and Busoga College Mwiri was the semi-final last year. Mwiri going on and winning that one. But it's like a final of sorts. Not a game that anyone who is here in Fort Portal could wish to miss.
One thing that has to be noted is that the first cricket ball in Uganda was played right here in Nyakasura. Most people don't know that, but it's the fact. I bet if you really knew about that. But with that dot ball brings up the end of the 13th over. And the score is 59 for the loss of 3 wickets. But good appreciations have to be given to Atmanya Davis, who bowled 4 overs on trot, picking up 3 wickets and only conceding 13 runs at an economy of 3.25. Only wickets that have fallen today have been courtesy of that man. Powerful hit, bat off his arms, sailing up in the air, and the ball is almost racing to the boundary, but beautiful work done trying to stop that ball into the field, but the umpire will signal a 4. Can see there is a little bit of drizzles in here at the ground. That can really explain why Nero's bat had to sail off his arms, because I presume that even his gloves at the moment could be wet and you don't get that grip that you would really wish for.
Yeah, indeed, the breeze being accompanied by a soft drizzle right here at Nyakasura main ground. But nevertheless, the action is still continuing. I tell you, the ball is slippery and the bats are also getting slippery a bit at the moment. But the umpire is saying these conditions cannot stop play from taking place. This is the UCS Skyview Boys Schools Cricket Week tournament. The first edition was played in 1986, and that edition was won by Busoga College Mwiri. The same round, just bowls it a bit wide. Good work there, good thinking there from the bowler. He knows he doesn't want to put that ball so close to the batter. The aggressive Neuro Jonathan that was in the slot and driven powerfully down to the long on. There's a field, a bit of a fumble, and they run very quickly and pick up the second run. Good awareness there from these 2 batters who are batting right now for JINJA Secondary School.
I would say that fielding was floppy from the captain, so he would have done better. But one thing about Darren is the awareness that Nero, powerful hit there, a slog sweep. That's one shot that you have to cut Nero Jonathan off, because that is his strength shot. You don't really want him to get under the ball. He has really been looking out for such a shot and hasn't really executed it. But this time round, leans on his knee and uses all the utmost power that he has and gets the first maximum of this inning so far. Nero Jonathan striking in at 117 from 17 balls.
I tell you something, Nero Jonathan is a bowling all-rounder, but at a time where JINJA Secondary School lost about 8 players, that squad that really helped them to win the Nationals last year, overcoming Busoga College Mwiri at their home turf, at the JINJA SS turf. Nero Jonathan knows that he has to take most of the responsibility, do the nitty-gritty work for JINJA Secondary School, get them to a solid total, and make sure that he sees them pick up the victory. So I had a conversation with the head coach for JINJA Secondary School, Habibu Mugalula, and in his words he said that JINJA SS despite the fact that they may not go too far in this tournament. He's in a rebuilding phase. He knows that lost players, the likes of Pius Oloka, Mulongo Paul, all being away from the team, but he knows that I can work around with the players that he's having, try and build the team again, and then they'll get back to another glorious period. Good work there being done by the bowlers, and that will mark the end of the over. 72 for 3 after 14 overs is now the score. Projected score still 104. You would feel that these boys of NTARE school have done some good work with the ball, making sure that they don't give away so many runs.
In my opinion, 104, yeah, is a projected score, but with Nero Jonathan on still another wicket there, he can really do the heavy lifting of his team, and we've seen him do such a job, not just in schools week, but even in that tournament of the under-19 series with the Tanzanian side. We saw how good and how compulsive he could go with the bat, and with only 6 overs left, those are 36, he can do much better work. If he stays on the wicket there, he can really do a heavy lifting of his side, given that it's a heavy hit of the ball, and they still have 7 wickets in hand. A new bowler into the attack. Spinner starts off with a powerful cut shot, reaching to the boundary within no seconds, but there is protection at the boundary. Very well work done there to stop that powerful shot from going past the boundary, and we only settle for 1 run.
Penning. water that takes long without forming lather. For those who did chemistry, we are very conversant with it. It was a bit salty if you could taste it, but it was a good hospitable place. Very good to see that the tournament is decentralized and it is moving in different places. Look at that weird, wild swing there from Jonathan. I tell you, that ball was going down in the leg. You would clearly see that it was going for a wide. But in T20, we all know that there's balls that are going down the leg. If you can capitalize and maximize, maybe you can get more runs off that one. But I think that bar just getting saved because of the drizzle. Jonathan showing the batters that he's going to be very, very aggressive at everything.
That's really cautious about Jonathan. That's the second time we've seen that happen. Suppose there is a fielder there, one could get hurt, but it's not his making, I would say. One thing that has been a challenge to cricket, mostly the development sides, the equipment, leave alone the drizzles and stuff. But do our bats really have proper grips? Do our gloves really have firm grip on them? Those are the things that really have been in caution, not only in Uganda but all through the world. Even when you see the documentaries from international players, when they are telling their stories that they really succumbed to poor equipment, lack of equipment, lack of facilities. So it is a worldwide problem, and it's an appeal that has to be done to make sure that in such a tournament players really have good
Have done better to try and make sure that he knocks that one in for another boundary. Jonathan tries to swing hard at that one, but not full face. That just goes down to the deep, and they run very quickly to pick up those 2 runs. Run out chance. But the umpire there, Oxy Sadam Oyaga, standing in a very good position. He sees that one and says that is not out. But a big shout out to the sponsors, Harris International, the makers of Skyview. Skyview comes in very many brands. Skyview Orange, Skyview Fruity, but Skyview Apple is my favorite. Actually, I had the chance to first test that brand when we went for the girls' nationals down in Gulu, late May. But the 4th year running, seeing that Skyview is still making sure that they put money into this prestigious tournament. Plays that one straight to the fielder, chance to catch, and the catch is taken at long on. Jonathan not swinging through his bat, and that leads to his demise. He knew this is a time, these are the death overs of the game, time to capitalize. But unfortunately, that just goes to the fielder, and Jonathan departs.
much needed wicket there for NTARE, picking up Jonathan's wicket. He really has started showing signs of being volatile and relentless in his hittings. But credit goes to the fielders of NTARE. Most of them, all the chances that have been presented to them have really been put to perfection. No chance has really gone begging. Every chance has been taken by the fielders, despite the wicket, rather the weather being chilly and with some soft drizzles. We know the ball may tend to be slippery, but every chance has really been put to maximum use. And that's the first wicket for the new bowler, Ariatunga Brand, picking up Jonathan. With that wicket brings up another, the first left-hander that we've seen from the side of JINJA. It says starts off with a short half-track delivery there, but doesn't go anywhere, isn't hit, and it It's a dot ball. With that dot ball brings up the end of the 78th, rather the end of the 16th over, and the score is 78 for the loss of 5 wickets.
Extras so far given away by NTARE school, a bit many, but from where we are seated, of course we are watching the action that is happening right at that ground, and it's a time to change innings. I see the fielders of Masaka Secondary School working on to defend their total. We'll be just giving you the updates coming right from there. Another full toss there, chance to catch, but Paul not getting hold onto that one. Paul had the chance to pick up that wicket, but Butterfingers, and that chance will go begging.
Oh, tries to go across the lane, hitting against the turn. Seizes the fly tone, but really doesn't lean his weight forward. Goes across the lane, losing the sight of the ball, and it's another dot ball.
Swings hard at it, but there is a fielder in the deep. Shapes in that long barrier and makes sure that they take just one run. I tell you, the batters of JINJA SS are showing the aggression already, because they know, despite losing 5 wickets already in the innings, but these are times, these are death overs, these are times where you get those runs that will eventually lead you to victory. Brilliant work there being done. They know they need to get over the 100 runs mark and maybe stretch to maybe about 130 to get to a total being defendable. Yesterday we saw a team failing to defend 123, and that was Gulu High at this very ground when they took on St. John's High School Kauga. Should be like the pass score at this ground is maybe 130.
Yeah, talking of the pass score, they will JINJA at the moment really has to do something to get to that part score, but with only 5 wickets in hand and only 3.3 overs left, can they get to that part score as you have said?
I tell you, if they don't get to the pass score, it might be risky for them and very hard for them to defend. The chance to catch, but the wicketkeeper puts another one down.
With that dot ball brings up the end of the 17th over, 7-9 for the loss of 5 wickets.
Battle Uganda Limited also coming up to make sure that they sponsor this tournament. I tell you, just months from now, all weeks, we'll be having the Battle Open tournaments happening in the different regions, the Western region, Eastern region, Northern, and the Neo region. Those will build up to the Battle X, and later we'll be having the Battle Max. Proud partners of Uganda Cricket Association, making sure that when Uganda Cricket Association has a tournament, they always come out and support them. That's driven down the ground, but there is protection in the deep. Chance for a run out, but a bit sloppy. The umpire there, son of Oyaga, using his bum to stop that one. I tell you, amazing scenes are happening here at Nyakasura, but there is an indication of a short run. They were in rush of picking another run, and the batter not making their grounds.
Chance of a run out. Oh, almost straight. Would have been tight had the ball hit the wicket, but they will settle for one. I tell you, the cause of the umpire being hit by the ball could have been he was trying to really watch the batters as they take their runs. You saw the indication that he was really watching their running, and he getted one shot run. Slower this time. Oh, floppy fielding, really floppy fielding, kicks it almost running to the boundary. Chance of a run out there. 3 they will take.
Not a good technique there, and not a good backup again. But this time around he gets it and just says come. I tell you, one time I was having a conversation with Mr. Chitu Simon, who is actually here in Fort Portal City as the umpire mentor. And the conversation we had, I told him that one of the things that players lack, they don't know that even just getting the ball and you stay with it means that the other batters will not take another run. That is a bit full, but driven down to covers, and Davis chipped in, but a single run is taken.
We can see really exactly what JINJA boys are trying to do at the moment. They are trying to make the field, put the field at its own pressure, trying to push hard between the wickets, run, convert the ones into twos, and where there is a chance of a fumble, they really take the run to their advantage. But Ariantunga Brand pulling from, oh, a little touch there. Two is the call, but the fielder is really in control of the ball there. Sends in a sharp throw to the wicket keeper, and we only settle for one run. With that one single, brings up the end of the 18th over, and the score is 86 for the loss of 5 wickets.
Just 2 overs remaining to complete the first innings of this game. NTARE School won that was elected to have the ball first, but they have really displayed some good athleticism, making sure that the team which had the highest score of the tournament yesterday doesn't get so many runs. They've taken their chances, though dropping a few, but they've made sure that they keep themselves into the game. We're now into the penultimate over of this game. Skyview, Batibo Uganda Limited, and Cricket Uganda all making sure that this prestigious tournament happens. Good work there being done to make sure that everything comes right at your comfort. Very, very full. That booming drive missed completely, but the intent very, very clear there from the batter.
The bowler who has really been on top of the bowling charts there, not entirely in the wicket column, but entirely with the pace. He has really been giving hard time to the batters. You can see how quick he has been and how challenging he has been to the batters who have really tried to put him off his comfort, but really hasn't been an easy task to put off. Tries to come down the track, inside edge in place, and the wicket keeper really has something to do with his glove there. At least he would have done better to restrict the batters from taking that single. It would have been better if he had held on to that ball to get 3 dot balls in a row. Left hand on strike. Ooh, tries to go for a big booming cover drive there, but the bowler is really giving them hard time. But the much anticipated game between Nyakasura and Soga College Mwiri is underway. 124 is the score for Mwiri for 4 wickets. Chance of a run out. Not really a good throw, you might say. Mwiri losing 4 wickets with 124 runs. The batter who has done a very good job for Mwiri is Tigatola Abubakar with 49 from 48. Oh, catch! Chance of a catch. Up goes the finger. Beautiful take from the wicket keeper there. Tries to go hard on the ball, sending it to the onside, but gets the outside edge, the top edge that flies to the wicket keeper, who does and completes the catch. Much needed wicket at the moment, given that the batters were really seeming to go hard after the ball. But very good job there from the bowler from NTARE. 89 for the loss of 6 wickets. Ajuka Innocent, who has just completed his 4 allotted overs, going for only 10 runs and picking up 1 wicket. Ariatunga Bran starts off from the back foot, hitting it square to the point fielder, and will only settle for 1 run. They will do some running, given that there is a left-hand right-hand combination, so the fielders will really have to be aware of the field placement. That mostly comes a challenge to the younger generation. You find caught up in one position entirely, not really adjusting with the batters changing. Apish, a powerful shot there, up in the air, fielder under the ball, and completes another catch. Another one bites the dust. 7 wickets fall for JINJA. All the wickets that have fallen have been courtesy of the catching from Huntali.
I tell you, something that you could see that NTARE has done so well is try and make sure that there are a no-flying zone. Everything that has gone up in the air has been taken. They've taken all their chances and made sure that they don't give JINJA SS a chance of getting those many easy runs, putting out their A game, try and make sure that they don't allow the defending champions to get nothing that you take away from them. Brilliant work there being displayed by these fielders of NTARE. NTARE comes from the city of Mbarara, whereas JINJA SS is from the city of JINJA. The east meets the west, and we are here at the Nyakasura main ground here in Fort Portal City. A cool city, but very good plan there by the association to make sure that we experience all these environments. That is played up in the air. I told you, no flying zone. Another catch is taken.
3 wickets for that young man, Asasira Paul, making sure that he doesn't give the tail end a breathing space, trying to make sure that he's tight in his last over, given that only 4 balls are left in this inning. But Asasira really does a heavy job for his team. 2 wickets left for JINJA SS. Will they reach that 100 run mark? That's the question.
Tell you at this time of the game, fortunately, we are now already down to the lower order or tail ender batters. You cannot send them to do a lot, but just 3 deliveries remaining. I tell you, despite what happens, this is the time for you to swing the bat.
Hat-trick ball coming there.
A hat-trick ball there will be coming up.
A soft touch here. Drop back to the bowler, Paul Asasira. A very beautiful over it is for NTARE at the moment. Oh. Shuffles across, plants his foot across, but lucky enough, there is a little bit of an overthrow there. No backup at the end. That allows them to take 3 runs.
A bit sloppy there. I tell you, those are some of the moments that NTARE will regret about. They've given away so many easy runs in the infield. If they are tried and make sure that they don't give away many of this, maybe they could have limited this JINJA SS side even to a slightly even lower total. Just 2 deliveries remaining to complete the first innings of this game. Atumanya Davis there alongside Asasra Paul, picking up 3 wickets apiece, but Asasra Paul being the most economical among all the bowlers at an economy of 2.33. Ijuka Innocent and the Ariantuga Brian picked up a wicket apiece. 94 to get from as many as 120 balls. Tell there is some bit of a drizzle, so if the weather allows, we'll be seeing how NTARE school responds. We'll take a short break for now and we'll be back for the second innings of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second innings between JINJA SS and NTARE School. The first innings we saw JINJA SS posting up 94 for the loss of 8 wickets. Here comes in the second innings, where NTARE will need 95 from 120 balls to win this match that is played at Nyakasura main oval. And Mwanguzi Enoch is the opening bowler, rather. Starts off straight away with a dot ball to start with. Mwesigwe Ignatius is the opening batter together with alongside Ninsima Hillary. And Ignatius is the batter on strike. Starts off with a well left to set himself up. Beautiful cover drive there. Beautiful cover drive. Piercing through the fielders in the 30 yards. Nice eye-catching show there from the young man Ignatius. So tall, uses his full height, lunges forward, a full extension of the arms, and dissecting the well-packed offside offside field there to get the first boundary for NTARE. What a beautiful show that was. We haven't really seen beautiful shows in the first innings, but this one really tells you that the batter has something good in his repertoire, most especially the cover drive there. And he has got the patience, as we saw it with the fast ball, leaving it and letting it go. Tries to drive on the up, full pitch delivery there. In fact, a full toss. He must really be upset with himself, knowing that that was a freebie on offer. But sometimes the full tosses tend to be so lethal if you don't really execute them off well. What a leave. Second leave in the over. He really seems to know his strength and weaknesses here. Really picks up the length earlier and waits for that ball that is pitched up. One tall guy, but takes up his stance very low. Takes up a very low stance, trying to pick up the length. Oh, and out is given. The finger goes up. Tries to drop his wrist to work. Tries to send the ball on the onside. And the umpire is really convinced that that would have hit the wicket had it not been deflected by the pad by Ignatius, who only gets 4 runs. Succumbs to a full pitch delivery that would have been played with a non-drive, but he isn't really happy with the decision that is made by the umpire. But the umpire has the final decision in this. 1 wicket falls for NTARE, 4-1. New batter comes onto the crease, and Nisima Hillary hasn't gotten off the mark at the moment, with only 1 ball left. Cut hard. The chase is on. 2 is the call. The ground is slippery. He fell on his turning, but manages to get back for the second. Beautiful shot there it was, but doesn't really time it. bounces hard on the ground and loses its thrust. And that marks the end of the first over. The score is 6 for the loss of 1 wicket. Everyone watching this tournament, the Sky View Boys, rather this UCA Boys Schools Week Cricket Tournament 2025 that is held in Fort Porto, proudly sponsored by Sky View. Soda that has so many varieties, fruity, apple, to mention but a few, orange, that has been really good sponsors of this tournament, not only the boys but also the girls tournaments. Thank you for supporting cricket in Uganda. But these games, the today's game is played on cricket, rather on Nyakasura cricket ground. 2 games, the Masaka game and the JINJA game against NTARE. We saw, and we all know that Nyakasura school has a rich history that I will bring to you later. Tries to go for a pull shot, gets an inside edge on it, doesn't really time it well, but will only get one to get off the mark. Is Nisima Hillary, and the bowler starts off with a tight line there, back of the length, trying to ask the batters to put up either a cut shot or a pull shot, cutting off that driving option. And the bowler is Isiko Kenneth. Smooth run up there from the young lad, back of the length, try to hit hard. And 1 is the call, and 1 they set off all. Beautiful shot there, I would say. Some little bit of width offered there. And the batter, Ariantunga Brand, who was really good with bowling, as we saw earlier in the first innings, did a handy job with the ball. Now has been tasked to do the same job with the bat as well. Shot, powerfully struck. 1 bounce to the boundary. Beautiful pull shot there. Sets himself up early and picks up the length earlier. And gives it his utmost energy to send the ball to the boundary. Quick outfield here on Nyakasura. And that's the second boundary in this second innings. But the bowler Isco there is not happy of the length that is bowling to. You can see the captain trying to make some adjustments, knowing that his bowler Isco is bowling back of the length, so the only shots that can be hit off him are the pull shots. Tries to adjust the fielder long on at the boundary. Only one field, rather long one, and third man patrolling the boundary there. Another shot ball up in the air. The fielder is under it, but doesn't get anywhere close. No sooner had the captain changed the boundary than the ball had just been hit there, but lucky enough doesn't carry to the fielder. So far, seven runs have been picked in this over. Up pitch in the air, hard hands, but it will sail to the boundary, chase his own. The third man is trying to cut that boundary off, and they will only settle for two. Third man really had a long boundary to cover, long area to cover, but in the end he was so swift on the ground and restricts the batters from getting a boundary and reduces the runs to two. Very good job there, but good running between the wickets. Ninsi Mahilari doing a good job for his side. Oh, catastrophic for NTARE. After getting a couple of boundaries, doubles, now tries to go across the lane. Second wicket falls for NTARE. So disappointed at the moment. Really had a good run. Not a good cameo, I would say. But second wicket falls. 13 for the loss of 2 wickets. It's a really chilly weather here at Nyakasura Cricket Oval. Sorry, Nyakasura Cricket Ground. A lot of wind, heavy cloud over. See, a lot of metabolism has to be taken for the body to generate heat. You don't need to be really down at the moment. I can even feel the chilly, the cold weather from the comms box here. I wonder how the fielders that are standing in the field, they are feeling. I'm putting on a sweater, but they're only putting on short-sleeved shirts. Well left. Starts off with a wade for the new batter that has just walked in. Another wide ball. Tries to look for a Yorker, but doesn't really execute it perfectly as he would have loved. But 2 wades in a row could be so bad for JINJA at the moment. But NTARE will look for a solution, especially try to get a partnership and get the scoreboard ticking. You don't want to get dot balls. We haven't seen many of the dot balls. Abish tries to drive it with an open face of the bat. But it's another dot ball. Telling you Nyakasura has a very rich history. A school that is going to make 100th century 2 runs for the loss of 2 wickets after 3 overs. Changing bowling attack here. The wicketkeeper puts on his helmet. I reckon the spinner will be coming in. Captain trying to send some instructions and changing the fielders. 2 fielders patrolling the onside. That is the deep mid wickets, rather, yeah, deep mid wickets and long on at the boundary. New bowler comes into the attack from the staff quarter end. The off spinner. Starts off with a beautiful delivery there, straight out to the stumps. Tate lane there for any spinner to pick up that dot ball. Asasira Paul has 3 of 3. Nisima Hillary 11 of 6. Another beautiful delivery there, really beautiful. Nothing, no width on offer, everything straight to the stumps. One question has to be asked from the batters here. You don't have to let the dot ball percentage mount there. Oh, drives from the up. One is the call and one they will settle. You don't really have to let the dot ball percentage increase at the moment. You have to try as much as possible to keep the scoreboard ticking. Rotate the strike, get that, and you will really get that one odd boundary. One loose ball will come. There it is. There it is. Loses track of his lane and bowls the ball a little bit shortish and down the leg. He just Nisima just has to shove across the crease and sends it to the boundary where there is no protection. I feel at the moment NTARE is going at a very good strike rate at the moment, current run rate at the moment. But one thing that they have to keep, and the finger goes up. The finger goes up. No any other batter. It really hit his groin. It's really not comfortable there. The ball really hit. It's perfect par there, I would say. His weak spot. And the umpire really gives him out. The 3rd wicket falls for NTARE. Asasira Hillary, who was really doing a good job for his side, scoring 15 runs from 18 runs from 18 ball, rather from 12 balls, now has to depart and brings on a new batter on straight. As I was earlier saying that the DLS score at the moment for NTARE is at 25 runs. That means they are past the DLS score. Their run rate is really good, but now the area of concern is the wicket column. Already 3 wickets have fallen for NTARE. Now they're in a little bit of some confusion. They really don't have to lose so many wickets if they are chased down the 94 runs that are required. But at the moment they only need 64 runs from 16 overs, to be specific, from 97 balls, driven from up and go off the mark straight away. A single to start with from NTARE, but with that single brings up the end of the 4th over, and the score is 32 for the loss of 3 wickets. Another bowling change from the primary school end. Another spinner comes into the attack. The left-arm orthodox spinner bowling to the not really set batters in NTARE and Asasi Rapol. Starts off with a half tracker there. Hit and hard off the back foot. But only 1 run will be taken off that. Doesn't really set himself up very well. Send that half track at the boundary, but gets off strike. Oh, yo, chopped him, squared him up. That was a much better delivery there from the young man. Uluka Samir. Really beautiful ball there. Almost would have been a perfect delivery had the wicket keeper done all the work that was needed to be done. Full toss up in the air. Fielder running to get the catch, but falls almost short of him. But full toss that was asked to be hit. 2 runs so far from 0.3 overs that Oluka has bowled. Oh, yo. Another good ball. But very well played there from the young man, Asasi Rapol, to rotate the strike. Very good strike rotation from the 2 young lads from NTARE, Asasi Rapol and NTARE. Making sure that the scoreboard keeps ticking. Oh, you bat on it. How is the call? But there was a little bit of bat in play. The half tracker hit hard. There is a sweep at the boundary. Goes on the long barrier and picks it up very well. Sends in with a perfect throw to the wicket keeper, and 1 run will be settled for to bring up the end of the 50th over. The score is 36 for the loss of 3 wickets. So at this stage, Oluka Samir will be bowling in tandem with Winya Caleb. Caleb bowling from the staff quarter, and beautiful drive, really beautiful drive there. Lovely to watch from the young lad. Full presentation of the bat and really extending his weight into the shot and stepping really on the bounce of the ball. I would say that was a pure class shot, despite the result not going hard over the bowler's head. Powerful shot, pissed up delivery, much required boundary at the moment. And with that boundary brings up a change in commentary box, as with this chilly weather, fortunately myself I'll be taking some break and let Ivan Sisajabi continue with the proceedings. Ivan, welcome back from the break.
Thank you so much, Fortunate. Happy to be here yet again. This is match day 2 of the annual Skyview Boys Schools Cricket Week happening here in this beautiful city of Fort Portal. Very cold breeze weather. You don't always see the sun when you're here. Not sure if we just didn't come in the correct weather, but we're really trying to make sure that we change and adjust to the conditions. 54 runs needed from 80 balls. We feel that NTARE School, who were out of action yesterday, at the brink of picking up their first victory. They've already lost 3 wickets, but they have gotten themselves off to a solid total, 41 for 3. If they could try and take care of that wicket column, maybe they could stand a chance of picking up a victory here. Required it just 3.68. Umpire Darren and Sasra Paul in there, 9 and 7 respectively for these 2 batters. Still spinning some balls around there is Owinya Caleb. Plays that one down the ground, right back to the fielder. Well, that will mark the end of the over. Just going through his action very quickly. And after 6 overs, 43 for 3 is the score. The power play has come to an end. Uganda Cricket Association, who are rebranding to Cricket Uganda, putting their hands together alongside Batbo Uganda Limited and Harris International, the makers of Skyview, to make sure that you can enjoy this beautiful tournament, which happens every year since 1986. We are now into the 7th over of the game. 52 runs from 84 balls is the equation there for NTARE School. NTARE School didn't play yesterday, but as they come to play today, they're trying to make sure that they put up an A game to try and make sure that they pick up victory. They were in Kakamega for the East African Games, and they would love to carry that same momentum during this Nationals tournament for the boys. JINJA SS got themselves off to a solid start yesterday, but not managing to replicate that performance that they made against Renzori High School. A full toss and a driven powerfully. Hit me ball, hit straight. That good looking shot, they will only settle for 1 run. bowled out for just 91 runs, taking on St. John Secondary School Mukono. Soccer College Mwiri posting a solid 148 for 4 in 20 overs. Nyakasura School trying to chase that one, and they are 22 for 1. Sorts of a final, sorts of a semi-final, a deja vu moment. Not the first time we've seen these two meet, and it's a tightly contested one. Beautiful shot there down the ground, but not hit enough, and that will be fielded there by the fielder. St. John's High School Kauga 115 all out. Kira College Butiki with the chase, but they are 14 for 6. That means that Kauga is running through their batting lineup very, very quickly. Still just making sure that he gets himself ready. Well, that is guided very, very well backward of the square. They could have picked up Annie Ize too, but they are interested in picking up just that single run. Well, as we came today, Nuno Jonathan was topping the batting charts with 95 runs, followed by Abrez Mir also with 95 runs, and Patel Devash has 82. Dong Amos 54, and Tigatola Abeka there from South College Mwiri 49. In the wickets column, all the 5 bowlers who are topping the chart have 6 wickets each. Shilok Dalwadi from Shiris Aljanandi, Edwin Mukisa from Masaka SS, Sentme Ashraf Masaka SS, Omara Marvin Javier from Gulu High School, and Piti Daniel. We're looking at the table standings in Group A. Shiris Hajanandi School is topping the table with 8 points. They have played 2 games and won both their games, and JINJA SS following closely that table. But JINJA SS doesn't pick up a victory here. Things may change in that group. Soccer College Mwiri topping Group B, followed closely by Nyakasura School. I tell you, it is shaping out and everything is now exciting. The teams that are in Group A include Shirisa Janandi, JINJA SS, Masaka SS, St. John High School, Kauga, Gulu High School, Kira College Butiki, Good Heart SS, Resori High School, and NTARE School. 9 teams in that group. You can get to our comment section and tell us who will be on top of that group. While in Group B, there is Soccer College Mwiri, Nyakasura School, St. James Secondary School, Aga Khan High School, Masindi SS, King's College Vudo, St. John Secondary School Mukono, and St. Joseph's College Laibe. 8 teams in that group. The comment section is still open. You can get there and tell us who might be topping that Group B. Shout out for your schools. Make sure that you cheer them on. Of course, this fixture is made in such a way that every team will have a game broadcasted live. The one semi-final will be broadcasted live as well, and the final is a must. Every team has a day for a double header, and every team has a day where they don't have games. We'll be here in Fort Portal City for 7 days, and this is match day 2. Exciting action. Over 300 players played yesterday, and we are still continuing to see what happens today. This tournament happened every year since 1986. So College Mwiri being the record champions with 19 trophies in their cabinet, followed by Kololo SS 7. JINJA SS has 4. Exciting things happening here. Just doesn't guide that one well, but that ball was there in the slot. The game that you're watching is between NTARE School and JINJA Secondary School. And if you've just joined in, NTARE School won the toss and elected to have the ball first. Did a lot of good work with the ball. Managed to limit JINJA SS to just 94 runs for 8 in 20 overs. Now we are here for the chase. 45 from 74 balls is what is needed for NTARE School if they pick up a victory. Good plan there. JINJA SS going for the slow bowlers. Well, that over number 8 comes to an end, and the score is 50 for 3 after 8 overs. A Pirate Darren 11 of 13 and Assasra Paul 11 of 16. Trying to make sure that they do some good work. Don't give anything away to the opposition team. The dance to the music will continue as another slow bowler comes to bowl from the side of the primary school. That is guided through the cover area. Good diving there. But they will still take that single. NTARE School making sure that they are not rushed into any sorts. They're just playing cup game. But they would love to pick up a victory. Of course, being out of action yesterday, but coming and playing today. Another soft touch there. And they'll take another run. They're going for the singles and making sure that they pick up these easy runs. This time round, the ball is a bit quick. And yet outside that off-stump area. Trickle of the wrist. And they take another single. Tell you, if there are moments to regret for JINJA SS, that dropped catch, that dropped chance should be one of those moments. You really need to take all your chances. Clearly, that was played to his hands, but the fielder not executing the right skill. These batters are making it a very comfortable, easy chase.
Really comfortable, we might say, given the fact that they have outplayed the middle overs. We saw how hard it was for JINJA to outplay the spinners or the middle of a bowlers there. But these two lads have really managed to keep rotating the strike and getting those odd boundaries, which was more expectant of them, and they've really come up with a solution for their team. Despite having lost 3 wickets earlier, they are trying to put up a fight. With that dot ball, brings up the end of the 10th over, and the score is 58 for the loss of 3 wickets.
We are at the halfway mark of the innings. 10 overs gone and 58 for 3 is what NTARE School has. They need 37 from as many as 60 balls. We did say fortunate that these two are scoring at the same rate. Assassin Paul 15 of 21 and Imperial Darren 15 of 22. Very, very close figures there. JINJA Secondary School still trying to make sure that they put some good bowling display here. Full but edged backward of the square. That is a vacant area. They are running very quickly, but these batters not going for the risk. They know they are not chasing many runs. They just settle for that single run.
Good communication between the two. In most cases, you would see some poor communication, especially for such a low cricket schools with cricket. You see poor communications coming into play, but it was clever of them not to take that risky run, but communicated effectively. Or tries to go for a big hit, swing and a miss, and this is a dot ball. But my concern is the more experienced bowler in the side of JINJA would be Nero Jonathan, but we haven't seen him really pick up a ball at the moment. Has only trusted his bowlers and left the job to them. I would love to see him pick up a ball and try to pick up wickets for his team and bring the game back to their side. Hit hard, but nowhere to go. Another dot ball.
Good work being done by these two batters, trying to make sure that they don't let anything away. That is full and driven, but not too much power onto that one. They will still take a single. They're not going for any risky runs, but just making sure that they pick these runs with a lot of ease.
But for me, in my opinion, they would have taken up the arm of the fielder long on. They need to run even those twos, convert the ones into twos, because you don't want to take this game to the edge. You know what pressure comes up with taking the game to the last ball of the innings.
tell you, with the way the breeze is moving around this pitch, bringing on a pace bowler could mean the ball swinging around. I need to make sure that you use all these surfaces. Make sure that you forge some wickets, because this partnership has started growing very, very well for Nyakasura School. I beg your pardon, for NTARE School. So if JINJA SS don't come up with a plan of breaking it, they may try covering themselves when it's already there. They need to make sure that they fight hard and break this partnership if they are to give themselves a chance. This partnership is already 35 runs. Asasa contributing 12 of 12 and Apeire contributing 21.
With that dot ball brings up the end of an 12, and the score is 6-6 for the loss of 3.
29 runs from as many as 48 balls is now the equation. NTARE School at the brink of picking up a victory. 8 overs remaining to complete this match. JINJA SS can do some good work in those remaining 8 overs. Maybe they also stand a chance of picking up the victory. Very, very full. The plan is make sure that you bowl that floater so that you force the batters into playing it up in the air and give yourselves a chance to catch.
Yeah, I can see their plan is trying to get batters do some errors, but the execution is not really right. Tries to buy a wicket in the attempt of finding gold. They have lost a diamond. There is a weight given, trying to buy a wicket there.
The only thing that I love about this cricket week tournament is that all teams come as contenders, but as you reach match day 3, some contenders become tournament attenders. The conversation in the camps start changing. That is played down to the deep square leg area. Sloppiness, but this batters not going for the noise. One thing I've liked about this NTARE dugout, they don't make calls for the batters who are in. That is a very, very risk sign.
Yeah, really beautiful of them, really, really good of them. But one thing that has to be thought about for the entire side is the way how they are running between the wickets. I've seen opportunities where they should have taken 2 runs or more. Look at this one, they only really settle for 1, but they should be running the first run quick and really get themselves in the position of taking the second run. But they tend not to be swift on their field, and their gulping isn't really that quick. Powerful struck there. There is a boundary right at the boundary. Only 1 run. Sharp throw into the wicket keeper. Chombe Elvis has really done a good job so far. Haven't seen any boundary conceded off his over, which means that he's tried to contain the batsmen, who are really doing a good job for their side. Asasira Paul at 17 from 27, and Apeire Darren, up in the air over the bowler. That's 1 more run taken, and Apeire Darren continues to keep sneaking the runs for his side. With that 1 single, brings up the end of over number 13, and the score is 69 for the loss of 3 wickets. Only 24 runs required from the last 7 overs. Required run rate is at 3.43 per over, and the DLS score is 57, which means they're above the required run rate. Darren is on straight at 23 runs. from 33 balls.
I tell you, they looked so comfortable with those spinners, but now here comes the pace. Very disappointing there. You can't start with a wide. You're not defending so many runs, so you need to try and make sure that you bowl stump to stump.
Sure case. Talking of the extras, we saw 14 extras in the first innings, but JINJA has only given out 6 wide so far, that making it 7. Another wide ball. No, the umpire is contented of the lane, but 7 extras at this moment. You really don't want to give out any other extra, and no freebies to be offered to the batters. Let them work for every run that they are to get.
Just looking at the other games that are happening, King's College Voodoo at the brink of facing their second loss. Yesterday they scored only 33 all out against King's College Boutique, and they were put on the sword in that match. They posted 68 all out in 18.3 overs against Masindi. The chase is on, and 44 for 2 is the score after just 6 overs. Aga Khan taking on St. John's Secondary School Mukono. Aga Khan scored 91 all out, and the chase is on, 42 for 4. Shouts of how is it, and that's given. I tell you, bringing pace could mean a bit of shift in momentum. A pace ball is brought into the attack and makes inroads there for JINJA Secondary School. They pick up a wicket and most importantly break this partnership. Yeah, new batter in. JINJA SS trying to make sure that they get themselves back into the game. Getting rid of a set batter, and now a new man is in. In the Nyakasura Muil game, it is Atoti this way, Atoti that way. The game is shifting both sides. It's a sort of the final. Nyakasura School 48 for 1 after 7.1 overs. Junior College Muri posted 148 for 4 in 20 overs. But in the afternoon, the games that will be happening at this very ground, Kira College Boutique will take on Masaka Secondary School, and we will be here giving you the beautiful stories of what will have happened in that game. At Nyakasura 2, just close from where we are, St. Joseph's College will take on St. James Secondary School. That is played through the covers, beats all the fielders. Should have enough legs to run away, but what a beautiful looking shot, and that races to the boundary. What a way to get off the mark and to start off things here for the side.
Really, really beautiful, I would say. In fact, I'll put it at picture screenshot, as I might say. But look at how he really sets up himself. Not the worst of the balls, you might say. Good delivery, but the shot was epic at the moment. He has now come in to chase down the runs.
Yeah, that is Darren on strike there. The new man gets him a single, and Darren manages to play that one through the cover. It's a bit of a fieldy change there. Extra covers is dropped down, and third man comes up. Also in the other games happening in the afternoon, Shirisa Janand will take on Gul High School at Canon 1, and Mountain Rose will take on Good Heart at Slake 1. Whereas St. John Secondary School will take on King's College Budo at Select 2. Today is a day for a double header for King's College Budo. That's played down the ground for yet another single. Nyakasura School don't look like they are giving this one away, fortunate.
Talking at Nyakasura game between Nyakasura and Mwiri, 77 for the loss of 4 wickets. You wouldn't say that they are putting it away. They only need 17. They only need some couple of runs. We'll get back to that. But would the other single mark the end of over number 14? And the score is 77 for the loss of 4 wickets. Going back to the Nyakasura game, only 1 wicket has fallen, and that is for the opener. But Rothomio and Hisiwe Sam have really settled into the game. Samuel having 26 runs from 31 and Rothomio 27 from 18, and only need 84 runs from 11 overs. Those are 66 balls to be specific, which still looks an achievable target.
What a way to welcome Jonathan into the attack. He looked like the fielder, the bowler they were waiting for. That is pumped for a maximum. What a shot there from the batter. I tell you something, that is a massive stroke there from Ethan Tajo to get things going and reduce the deficit to just 11 runs for NTARE School.
Another powerful shot there. You can really see the intent at which the batters are using from the batters in Ethan and Perry Darren. They are really trying to finish this game as early as they can, introducing Nero for a maximum there. Another powerful shot there. One is the call, and they will get one. You can see they are coming hard at Nero. I think they've tried. They've really acknowledged that they have to look for that one bowler that they can take on, and this seems to be Nero for me.
I tell you, Jonathan reducing his run up a bit. I don't think he is quick the way he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be bowling at a slightly longer run up, but he's reduced his run up and trying to be very, very cautious. Jonathan needs to try and make sure that he makes that ball move around if he's to do things here for Jinja SS. That one is edged and should run away. I tell you, they are taking him on, and that will go away for 4 runs.
Really beautiful shot there. Beautiful use of the wrist there. Rolling the wrist through the bat swing, and that puts the ball to the thin leg region there. But the wrist come into play. You're talking of Nero reducing his run up. For me, I think it's due to the injuries that he has suffered lately in his career. We saw even before the World Cup qualifiers, he wasn't bowling too many overs because of the injury, and we still think he is still in the recovery phase. Lovely ball there, slow delivery from Nero. Beautiful way to come back after conceding 2 boundaries in your overs.
Face them. Try and make sure that when you face them, you have something to put for your side. That's why Masaka SS is coming here and watching this game between NTARE School and JINJA SS.
6 runs required from the last 5 overs. 30 balls to be specific. Only one big shot away from a victory. One hit away from registering a record win for NTARE. I think I have to do my research very well to know if NTARE has ever won against the mighty JINJA SS. But as we know, in cricket nothing is permanent. We see associate nations nowadays winning test playing nations.
Yeah, indeed, nothing is permanent. A misfield there. But good recovery. They take 2 runs and reduce the deficit to just 4 runs in NTARE School.
Even the sun is starting to play up in the air. And the wicket goes. Wicket falls for NTARE. Know the wicket that they would have loved to get the moment, because you know that could be a turning point. With only 5 more wickets to go, albeit only left with 4 runs. In cricket everything is possible. Ethan has really done a good job, has had a beautiful cameo coming to play, trying to take the game on and as swift as possible to get the win for his team. And now there brings in a new batter. Ethan departing for 5 of 6, having about only 1 fall in his inning, and a new batter on to the crease. Oh, goes off the mark straight away. Pulled to long boundaries, the pickup. 1 run they will settle to go to, and that 1 run will set Umpire Darren, the most established batter, onto the strike. Oh, tries to whack it on the onside, but loses the sight of the ball, loses his head, loses his shape, and no balance at all. Doesn't get any bat on it. He's trying to finish the game early. Only 3 runs required. Oh, flying edge. Oh, what a pickup. What a stop there. Shot third man. Beautiful stop. Otherwise, it would have sailed to the boundary for 4.
I tell you, these guys of JINJA SS know that they have to keep the fight on. But just 2 runs needed from as many as 24 balls. Scores are level, just a run would mean victory for NTARE School. Jonathan back to ball for his side.
And I'm very sure he is going to try and bowl the slowest ball possible. You know how quick balls were executed. There he starts up with a slow back of the length delivery there. And Darren tries to go hard onto the ball. And some instructions from his teammates outside trying to say, hold your pose, watch the ball, and hit it with your mighty power. Beautiful touch there. He does the opposite. They ask him to hit the ball, but he does drop the ball. You can see the celebration there from the entire boys. Everyone is happy of the win. You can see the high waves, the excitement, the laughters, the celebrations are all quite conspicuous. We know getting a win against JINJA SS, the mighty JINJA, isn't an easy thing. History has to be written today here at Nyakasura Oval. NTARE boys winning against JINJA SS. Come back to the afternoon games here at Nyakasura Cricket Ground.